What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now, y'all know what time it is. Damn, look at my man, dog. My man be in the gym. Y'all know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? It's time to break down some fights. Probably the meat of this show. We do a lot of fuckery, you know what I'm saying? We give y'all a little bit of interviews here and there, you know what I'm saying? But the meat is the predictions and the breakdowns. We're trying to educate motherfuckers that are uneducated, you know what I'm saying?
That's on YouTube.
Word up, word up, word up. We'll start off with the HBO card. We'll do the Showtime card on another video. HBO, man, the first fight was TAKASHI MIURA versus Miguel Roman. Now, I'm going to let my man Sess go ahead and eat away at these two fights, man. He's got a little bit more knowledge about it than I do. So, Sess, man, what did you think about that fight, fam, and what did you take away from it?
And you know what? Classic meeting between a left-handed southpaw and a right-handed orthodox fighter.
Yep.
Both guys, you know, pretty good power coming from both guys. Miguel Roman, I think going into this fight, everybody kind of thought he was going to get steamrolled because he had 11 losses. I believe he's something in 11, you know. But I knew coming into this fight with TAKASHI MIURA's style that Miguel Roman was going to present more problems for him because TAKASHI MIURA doesn't move his head.
Nope.
He doesn't move his head,
Never
man.
did.
Exactly, man. And it's something that I just kind of looked at him in the Francisco Vargas fight and I was like, dude, like, do this. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Do something, man. Oh, you know, but this was a very good, very entertaining fight. Let me put it like that. It's a very entertaining fight. TAKASHI MIURA has what I like to call fight-changing power.
Absolutely.
And he also has that wear you down type of power where if you get a guy like Miguel Roman in front of him, if you don't stop MIURA, he's gonna punch with the same power for 12 rounds straight. You know what I mean? And you could actually see him doing that in this fight because what he would do is he would take so many punches, and he did look like at one point in time he was gonna the fight was probably gonna be stopped. He was gonna get stopped. He went back to his corner, and his corner said, "Do you feel like you winning this fight? Can you win this fight?" And that's where power like this comes into play. Because if you ask a cat that can punch, do you think you can win? Or do you think you still have a chance? He's always going to say yes because he has a puncher's chance. Yeah. You know, and that's how MIURA came out. You seen in the latter part of the fight, those body shots were
oh my God,
brutal. It sounded like my man was chopping wood.
Bro.
He was like,
oh my God, you know? Bro. Can I say this real quick? I'm
yeah.
sorry, fam. I don't remember what, I think it was round 9. That nigga MIURA cocked back and brought that whole oh my, and Miguel Roman doubled over and shit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
2 things I want to say. One, that body shot was fucking ridiculous, bro. Yeah. Like, yo, I like to say I'm a tough motherfucker. I am a tough motherfucker. But even I'm going down off that shit, dog. And I can't.
Anybody.
You know what I'm saying? I got MIURA by like 80 fucking pounds. Not that much, maybe about 60. But I'm going down off that shit, okay? Number 2, Miguel Roman has major fucking heart, fam.
Oh yeah.
He went down like he went down like a baby, fam. Like motherfucker was fetal position. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets up like literally in 2 or 3 seconds and walks to his fucking corner. Man, I'm sorry. I just have to give I gotta give credit to both fighters in that exchange, man. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. Well, you know what? Word 2K, to your point, Miguel Roman is tough as fucking nails, man. There were so many times where I actually thought he was gonna end up beating MIURA in the fight because it didn't seem like he wanted to give MIURA anything, you know. And that's what I like about guys like Miguel Roman. They're not gonna give you anything, no matter how much you think you're gonna steamroll them, and no matter the kind of underdog they are in a fight, they'll fight you for 12 rounds straight. It's just that Takashi Miura, man, like you stated, those body shots. Kill a head and the body will die. And I think Miura started seeing that. He started seeing that, damn, I'm hitting him with some tough shots up top, but he ain't going nowhere. So what do?
Body.
Go to that body. There you go. Go ahead on and go to that body. But man, great fight. You know, my hat's off to both guys. Takashi Miura again, please, my man. Dude, if I knew how to speak his language, I would say it in his language. Get some defense, baby.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fam, he's never, throughout his career now, to be honest with you, Takashi Miura started off, he wasn't expected to be a world-class fighter at 130. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he fought, what's that dude's name? Takashi Uchiyama. The same guy that just lost to Jezreel Corrales, who's getting ready to fight Lomachenko. He got knocked out by Takashi Uchiyama. You know what I'm saying? I think it was round 8. Got knocked out in round 8. So at one point in Miura's career, he wasn't supposed to be a world-class fighter of this division. He emerged to become that. But one thing that he never took with him, or at least learned in his journey, was defense. Never had it, fam.
Damn.
Good examples with the fight with Francisco Vargas, one of the Fight of the Year candidates 2-3 years ago. Motherfucking, that shit was bombs away, fam. Both of them.
Yes,
you know
sir. Yep.
So, yeah, it was a great fight. This fight actually made Takashi Miura the mandatory for the winner of the next fight that we're getting ready to talk about. And that's between Francisco Vargas and Miguel Berchelt. I'm going to pass to my man Sess again. What belt was this for, fam? Was this WBC?
This was the WBC.
WBC 130-pound title.
Yes, sir.
What did you take away from this fight, man?
You know what, 2K? Let me start off by saying this, man. First off, Francisco Vargas, he honestly surprises. Well, you know, I'm not going to say he surprises me. He confuses me with his fighting style because Vargas can actually box.
Yeah. He
can actually box. The dude is not bad at employing the fundamentals of boxing. He's got a pretty good jab. He lets his hands go, you know, and things like that. But for whatever reason, maybe it's pride or ego, this dude elects to fight you up close in the pocket, rock'em sock'em robot style.
Yep.
You know, and Saturday he fell victim to he was the victim of too many wars. Your body cannot sustain that. You can't take that over a period of time, especially when I believe he's 32, 33, and you're fighting a 25-year-old guy that has majority knockouts on his resume.
Yep.
You know? So come on, man. At the end of the day, a lot of times it doesn't really matter who you knocked out. When you've got youth over a guy and you have seen what your power can do, you always gonna run into a problem, especially if the guy is gonna fight, is gonna try to match you in that manner. You know, Francisco Vargas, in my opinion, probably should have stuck to his fundamentals and went at it that way. But Berchelt, man, hats off to him. You know, he went up in there, showed Vargas who the young, strong lion was, and took what he wanted. But the bigger point that I really want to make, and me and you talked about it before we started the show, man, is Francisco Vargas's eye. I mean, damn.
Lord Jesus.
Good. Man, come on, 2K. Like, I'm watching the fight, and in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, they gonna stop it. Now, I will say this. I'm not gonna take it so hard on the referee. Yeah. I'm not gonna give the referee too much blame because he walked over to Paul Wallace, one of the ringside physician, okay, who does have a good reputation. He walked over to him and asked him 3 different times, can he continue? Are you going to let the fight go on? Paul Wallace walked up, looked at the eye and said, dapped it. You know, pretty much, okay, let him go ahead on and go. But if it gets worse, then we may have to call it. The third time, Francisco Vargas's eye went from probably a 3-inch gash to a 4-inch gash, and it started leaking. Again, the referee walked over to Paul Wallace and asked him, "Do you want to stop the fight?" No, let him go ahead on and continue. The referee also went over to the corner and warned the corner and asked them, "How's he doing? Is he okay? Can he fight?" And of course, the corner, being the corner that they are, he's okay. He's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, look, man, when you've got these type of injuries going on in a fight, it's no longer about entertaining the fans. It's about preserving the career of the fighter. And when you have a ringside physician that's neglecting to do his job in the manner in which it should be done, you're gonna have a problem. Francisco Vargas could have went blind, people.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Tess is the advocate for safety in the sport, man.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, let's just be real about it. We all love boxing, but at the end of the day, we see the in-ring sacrifice that these guys are giving us for our viewing pleasure. And I never want to see a guy lose an eye. I never want to see a guy lose his life.
Absolutely
in the
not,
ring.
man.
You know, so that was really what I took away from this fight. Great fight, man. My hat is off to Francisco Vargas for fighting through something like that, and Berchelt for going in there and taking it. You know, it was almost like Berchelt basically said, "You finna deal with me right now."
Word.
You know, it ain't going to the refs. I'm sorry, it ain't going to the judges. No, you finna deal with me right now, and I'm gonna beat you down until you say uncle, no mas, alto, whatever you want to say. You know, but
Word.
I'm about to give you this work. So great job by Berchelt in this fight, man. I'm very interested to see him and Takashi Miura. I think that's a good matchup. I don't want to make no predictions on it right now, but I'm telling y'all, it's gonna probably be another bloodbath.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Gonna be some bodies. Gonna be a couple legs missing. You know what I'm saying?
Not everything.
Yeah, that shit gonna look like a butcher shop, fam. Blood everywhere, nigga. But yo, let me throw something at you real quick before we close.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
The 130-pound landscape. I said on the podcast, man, that the 130-pound division is a sleeper division. It's got some killers in that motherfucker, but the people only really know what the division is about because Lomachenko's in there. He's obviously the most popular fighter in that division right now. But if you go past Lomachenko, nobody really knows who the fuck anybody else is, right? I mean, you got Lomachenko, you got Orlando Salido, you got Jezreel Corrales, who will be fighting Lomachenko. You got the newly crowned IBF champion Gervonta Davis. Okay. Takashi Uchiyama's still there. You got fucking Jason Sosa, and you got my man Tevin Farmer, fam. All at 130.
Woo!
And
I like that 2K sleeper division.
Sleeper, fam. And Loma just came out and said he wants Berchelt. So,
Oh, okay.
do you think there is a possibility Takashi Miura takes some step aside money for that fight to get made, if need be? Just throwing a theory out there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know what, 2K? If I'm gonna put it like this: if I'm Miura, I take step aside money just to get my body back intact. I mean, damn.
No doubt.
You know, but man, if he does a fight against Lomachenko and Berchelt, that would be a very, very interesting fight. Berchelt is technically flawed in a few places, but I think when you've got a guy that big and who can crack punching on you, and let me say this, a cat that's not afraid to let his hands go.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things I've noticed with guys when they get in front of Lomachenko. They almost seem mesmerized by the movement that they like, damn, what do I do? What do I do? You know what I mean? So, but Berchelt, he doesn't come off like that. He comes off as one of them dudes, like I mentioned earlier, that just says, look, man, fuck you, pay me, you finna deal with me. You know? But if Miura does, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him. You know, I heard Lomachenko's name thrown out there at the end of the fight with Berchelt and Vargas, and I wouldn't be mad. If it did happen like that, I wouldn't be mad because either fight's gonna produce fireworks.
I agree.
You know, Berchelt versus Miura or Berchelt versus Lomachenko. So fans are gonna be satisfied either way.
I agree. Francisco Vargas is with Golden Boy, correct?
Yes, he is.
One thing I want to say to Golden Boy, man, before we close, it's astonishing that you have a guy like Francisco Vargas fighting 3 major fights back to back to back.
Great point.
Knowing that he has a bad eye.
Yes.
I don't understand. He had a war. I was gonna say brawl. Fuck that. He had a war with Takashi Miura, 2 years ago. He had a fucking. This nigga had an extreme war right after that. You know what I'm saying? Not even 8 months later. It was like 6 months later with Orlando Salido, which was a Fight of the Year candidate. Then he has another war with Miguel Berchelt. In which his eye is split completely the fuck open, right?
Yes. Yep.
I question why Golden Boy rushed Francisco, excuse me, Vargas, and 3 back-to-back-to-back fights, knowing he's a WBC champion, knowing that he has an injury where he has scar tissue that needs more time to heal. I think they should have given him somebody else for this particular fight. Not saying that, he should have never fought Miguel Berchelt. He just needed something in between there. Maybe some time.
Yeah,
some time
exactly.
Off. If not a different type of fighter who's not willing to engage that often, then give him some time off. Then put him in there with a Miguel Berchelt. You know what I'm saying? It kind of kills me the way they handled him. I'm curious as to how they handle him after this loss. I mean, literally, fam, from June to January is the time off he had from Salido to Berchelt. A fight like Orlando Salido, my nigga, I wouldn't expect him to get back in the ring until this June.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? About a year layoff, fam. Like, let him get a year. Let that fucking eye heal up. You know what I'm saying? It was just too fast for my taste. But I like the matchup regardless. Still a good fight. But it was just too fast with too dangerous of an opponent given the state he was in after the Orlando Salido war. But it is what it is. 130-pound landscape. Can't wait to see them fucking fights, fam.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, YouTube, we're going to conclude it right here. Do what you're doing in the comment section. Will be real. Be on the lookout for the Showtime card breakdown coming up right after this. This is Real Talk for real fans. 1.